Okay, it's early September, I think September 2nd. Bees, we'll see. Uh, what I'll probably do is make one big video that compiles the last 3-4 weeks of videos that I haven't put out. But just to recap, I'm just going to do a quick inspection. This one over here should be fine. Decent population. It is growing. Doesn't seem like it. We've had frost. I've had to scrape the ice off my windows already. So mornings are cool. I do have an open feeder. It's like a 1 gallon chicken water with sugar syrup out by the chicken yard, just to give these bees something to forage on. All the native stuff is dead. Leaves are changing. There's a bit of clover left, sainfoin, and that's about it. The odd hawkweed. This one here is the one that will likely not make it. It's a very weak colony, so I'll go in there and check it out. I have reduced it to 6 frames now, but I'll probably reduce it even more. Probably get it down to 4 frames, and hopefully the smaller volumes helps the bees generate enough of a nest. I'll just zoom in there, but you'll see the bees tend to like on these feeder boards, they do like a top entrance, but I plugged them with toilet paper because of the cold mornings. So during the day, wonderful. It's about like 25 degrees Celsius right now, but it's -1, minus something around there every morning. So that's where the bees get chilled, and I can't afford that right now. This yellow one here will be fine. It's probably an 8 framer, and then this one here is possibly too weak to overwinter, but I may reposition it once I do my inspection. Just now, what I will do for monitoring this winter, I'll probably use this one here and this one here. I'll monitor temperature around the entrance, below the slatted rack, above the slatted rack, above the box. And the strongest colony will get the CO2 and O2 sensor. And then what I'll do is I'll put the feeder slots, and I'll just get a bunch of fondant on the weaker colonies if they don't, I guess, gain enough weight for the winter. I'll basically do my best to keep them fed over winter. They need about a pound a week, if even that, so because they are small, and they will be in a very reduced volume. So all the seams, everything will get taped up on all these boxes. And I'm leaving on Saturday for another business trip, but all these colonies will start getting pushed together. The reason I'm holding off is tomorrow I'll come in and put some sensors into the bottom boxes, so that I can pretty much tie them together, tape at least the bottom 75% together, just so they can start sharing heat. And then eventually what I'll do is get rid of this feeder slot. I want to make sure that there's enough pollen patties in each one, and because they will need it. And I'll feed probably longer than I usually do because they are light. They're finally seeming to take syrup. I did bring some vials in the bucket. I've got one of these for each colony, so I'll grab probably about 10 bees off of each brood nest, and I'm going to check them. Actually, it shouldn't be the brood nest, it should be the forager bees coming in there, but I'll grab some bees to test for nosema and amoeba, because they have been really slow this year and they've been struggling to recover. 3 of them had evidence of nosema coming out of spring, so it might have just taken them really long to get over the disease cycle. So it's one thing. I don't want to bother with fumigillin, because then I've got that in all my gear and I'll just stay away from it. So, and yeah, so let's check it out, and we'll go from there. Cheers. First thing I'm going to do, and I'll do it on all of them, is I'm gonna actually do a weight check just to see how heavy these boxes are, to see how the feed is moving. I'll remove these rocks, and the other thing is 3 of them have easy to reach debris boards. So I'll check the mite counts. So I did treat them about 7 days ago. I haven't had time to go check them out, so I'll check out the boards because tomorrow evening I do want to treat them before I leave. So let's have a look. Some of these have never been counted, so this is good. I like the white racks. That's good. There's still a bit of chalk brood, but a lot less than before. So you can see the seams. There's some hatching bees here, fresh wax here, so they are building stuff out. So some of these are chalk brood mummies. They were recovering from it, but then if you look at it, let's see, I don't really see any mites now. Good. So let's see, if I can get rid of the mites before going to winter, it would be awesome. So actually no mites or phoretic mites drop from OAV. So I have, oh, there's one there. Okay, so there's 1, 2. But considering this board has been there for a good, might be another one there, a good week and a half, this is the levels that I'm looking for. So I'm going to get rid of this debris so that I don't have to worry about it. So then when I do my OAV and then I check it a week after when I come back, I'll have a really good idea of my drop. So let's check this one out. This one here will be higher. So this is another one of those struggling colonies. Mites. There are some ants. I don't think they solely go on there, but looking at previous mite counts versus what I see now, a few mummies. So again, this is one of those colonies struggling with chalk brood. What I'll do is I'll share a link to a podcast that Dr. Melbrath had with Dr. Ellis on 2 Bees in a podcast on EFB/chalk brood and all the different forms of EFB that we see. Sometimes it looks like PMS, different things. So it's a really interesting take on EFB. And I do recommend people listen to it because it'll give you some extra insight. And folks in northern climates, it's well worth the listen. Okay, good. So far so good. And then this last one here. This one might be a bit stiffer. Oh, good. Ooh. Okay. So slightly higher numbers. I'd say 10. Okay, so there might be about 50 mites in here from my quick count. So this is something that needs to be treated. So, but it's way better than what it was previous. So finally, things are picking up, and I like this white wax. There is no, let's see, it doesn't look to be any chalk brood in this one, which is good. What I see in this one is just higher levels of mites. So this is a post-treatment drop versus a natural drop, so it's quite different. So natural drop, you'd want to see a handful max, but post-treatment, I'd say usually my target is around 15 post-treatment, so they're probably at the threshold right now of treatment. So I will probably give them at least another 2-3 treatments because I plan to keep these colonies brooding until October using pollen patties because I need bigger winter populations. And hopefully the weather allows for things to continue. So anyways, let's start the inspections. Okay, first thing I do check, so like I said, we'll check the weight too. I'll give it a quick weight check. So that's way too light. Not very many bees in the feeder. So I really need them to take feed. There's not many dead ones. So there's no mold or anything. So I might just add some more concentrated syrup in here. But I need these bees to take feed. Okay, let's put this back. One thing I did do was add bubble foil on each of these colonies to reflect back more heat. You can see this one's been reduced in size. Numbers seem to be increasing a bit. Let's see. This is still way too small. There is some fresh wax here, so we'll see. But what I'm going to do right now is just give it a quick check. So that at least they are feeding. It tells me they're still brood rearing, but I need them to give it a go. So hopefully there's at least 2 frames of brood here, maybe 3. And that should give it a nice boost. So what I may end up doing is right now there's what, 5, 6 frames. I may pick the best frames and reduce it by 1 more. And then just add 2 pieces of pine board to reduce the volume even more. And I've had 5 frame nooks over winter, all winter, and the key is enough feed, enough bees for the volume. And that winter was 7 months. It is nice wax, but it's empty. There's nothing on there, so I may just shrink them down another notch. And this colony here will get migrated to a middle position, so it doesn't have an exposed sidewall. And so what I'll do, I'll leave the existing one on the outside, but I'll add these to the outside in a minute. Okay, so let's do a quick check. Okay, I do have a bit of honey in this one, not much. I may have to go see if I have heavy honey frames in my shed. So that'll be tomorrow's mission, is add some already drawn out frames of honey. So this is very light. They are bringing in a bit of syrup. I was hoping to see brood in this. Not very many bees, so technically, yeah, they would need 2 more frames of honey. There for now. Okay, so this is one of those annoying medium frames. Seems to be their favored frame for brood. At least it's full. Let's have a quick look for the queen. She's a dark one, so I'll have to do the math to see just how much brood this is, how many future bees this is. Much better looking than before, a lot more full, so reducing the volume has helped. And then another nice decent pattern there. Still a couple of funny cells, but so how this was like this? No, it was like this. All the foragers are out right now, so it is a nice day, but I'd like to see at least double the amount of bees. Okay, so there is honey, a bit of brood on this side, and at least they're drawing out honey in the bottom there. There's the queen on top, so I'll put her back. So I'm going to shift everything over by one frame, so the brood nest is centered. And then this is a couple pounds of honey, which is not enough. Okay, so let's move this. Let's move this this way. Okay, this one here is not brood, so they need to fill that out. What I'll do is add one filler board here. And I guess theoretically this filler board should help with moisture control in the winter. And it will reduce the volume again, which is what these bees actually need, less volume. Okay. So what I've done, I've got my insulation on the outside, 2 filler boards to help with moisture control, reduce the volume. And this will be its final volume. It seems like a small cluster. There's a good medium frame. There's probably a few thousand bees on that medium frame. If I can keep that frame going for another month, and hopefully they start drawing out the other ones, hopefully it gives me enough winter bees to overwinter, and then eventually it will get more top insulation, so it'll just be a nice little cluster, and hopefully the queen continues microbrooding during the winter, and it makes it through the winter. And like I said, this colony I'm going to move one position over so that it doesn't get an outside position over winter. And I think these bees are just enjoying their carbohydrates or their protein. But let's put this back. Make sure it's nice and sealed. Get this bee back in the hole so it doesn't get squished. And the feeder. And then I'm going to put a rock on it just to make sure it stays tight. Good. Okay, time to move on to the next one. So what I'll do after this check, these 2 here, this is the strongest, which is not strong by my standards, but it is the strongest. So I'm going to move that to the outside position and then move this one here. And hopefully even the drift helps some of the bees to migrate to different boxes. So let's check this one out. First thing I'll do is a weight test. So it's a bit decenter. I know that's not a word, but you know what I mean. A bit of bee action in the feeder. I do have some sandpaper. So in the colony next to it, a lot of bees were drowning. So I put little willow sticks as floaters. I scratched up the surface on the plastic just so that the bees would have a bit more grippage. Because especially a new one, they haven't had time to propolis it or wax it to make it less slippery. So let's check this quick. So you can see a bit through. I got what, 4? I got 8 frames in this one. There are a lot more bees, but typically I'd want to see at least double this, a bit more oomph. But you can see there's bees to filling the whole box, and there is no, like I said, it's hottest time of the day right now, so a lot of the forager bees are out. But this population here with the non-foragers, a lot of it will represent what your winter bee population will be, because the foragers will die within a couple of weeks. So once they get hive bound. So I'm not too worried about the forager population right now. So they are feeding on this, and basic check here is I'll check for brood nest, and just to make sure that it's still expanding. Okay, let's clean this up. And what I may do is I'll probably put this insulation on this side. I'll do that right now. Because this will be the out-facing wall, so might as well give the bees as much protection as possible. So before I go too deep in there, I'll just see if I can shift things over. Okay. Okay, it's a medium, they're filling it up. So it won't be a full frame of honey, but they have it decently filled. So that should be okay. Next one's another honey frame. So I've been phasing out the mediums on the stronger colonies towards the outside, letting the brood hatch out. So this is, again, good. They're finally starting to put some honey on. A nice frame. Good. Another honey frame there with some pollen. Good. And that's that. So They would have borderline enough honey to winter right now, but like I said, I'm gonna keep feeding them till mid to late September. So this again is a medium. Here's the queen. Brood looks not too bad. Okay, so a lot less holy than before, and I only see a couple of disease cells, which is not much I can do at the moment, but it is what it is. And then hopefully I can phase the mediums out completely by next year. Another frame. Good. Lots, I see some fresh dead or young bees, which is good. Good. So there's at least 2 mediums are brood. Let's see what this one's doing. Okay, and then there's a deep with some brood. So this one here will have enough population going into winter, and there's another frame of, I'd say, about a medium equivalent of brood, which is good. Okay, so it's about 3 mediums of brood. And now just testing, checking for honey. Yeah, so they haven't really drawn it out. They've got a upper limit there. It probably matches with the mediums. So hopefully they get really thirsty and really fill these boxes up with honey. Okay, so let's push this together. Put my insulation insert in. Okay, hug this on, and it should be okay now. Good. Give them, make sure there's food above the brood nest, and same here. Make sure there's a little hole in the middle so they can access the feeder. And close it up. Okay, good. Okay, there's that done. Okay, this is the week one. Not expecting miracles on this one, but let's see. Let's see. No dead bees, which is good. But not many bees taking syrup. Okay, you can see not much going on there. So what I may do, this is a very old queen. I'll probably give it another week. But when I do come back from my trip, if it's still this week, what I may do is just steal the resources from this colony, cage the queen or pinch her, and then move those bees to the other colony and then merge them together. I think that's all I can do right now. And then at least it'll give a colony a chance to survive. Because if you include, say, this with the first colony I just inspected, I've got borderline enough bees there. So let's have a quick look. Okay, at least they're taking feed, or they're taking the patties. Way too much space in this thing. So what I need to do is reduce volume size. So this frame is gone. It's not drawn out on one side, and nothing's ever going to happen with it. So good. Let's get rid of this. So I might need to make some other follow boards this evening. So let's see how much space I need to fill up. So I'll do the weight test. Too light. So this colony needs to be shrunk to probably 5 frames. And so again, a bit of honey, older honey. So what I'll do is consolidate it to 5 frames. It's down to 7 right now. So let's see what the nest looks like. So this is where a lot of beekeepers fail at this time of year, is they try to winter with really small colonies. And it's just destined to fail. So like this colony right now is destined to fail. So what should I do? And that's where that first decision, do I merge it with the weaker colony over there? Because it's got a 0-year queen. And this queen here, she's been wonderful and beautiful. But I think her time is up. She struggled to survive. So I know I haven't, I said I'd collect some bees to do some Nosema amoeba checks. I guess what I'll do is I'll just collect some incoming foragers before I leave. Okay, so this is a decent frame. It's decently heavy. It's got a little brood nest on it. But it's probably too late. It'll make a good addition to the other colony. So again, okay, so it looks better. The brood actually looks healthy, no chalk brood. There's the queen. She's laying a decent sized nest on this side. So I think as a 5-framer, this colony might be able to make it over winter. So I'll hold off on the merge. There's more brood here. So hopefully, yeah, it looks like there's eggs. Okay. So this can stay here. I think I did. So this is gone, this frame. A bit of honey on it, but it's not fully drawn out, and they just don't have the energy to draw this out. So I'm gonna put it out. Any honey frames I'll put out for bees to basically rob them out, and we'll go from there. And I think this was a heavy honey frame. Yeah, so that's much better. So choices. What was this last frame here? Let's have a look at this frame here. Don't think he had any brood on it. Yeah, it has pollen and some capped honey, but the other side's not drawn out. So what I'll do is I'll put these bees in there, and I need them to draw out these 5 frames. And every bee is precious, so that's why I'm just using the brush, so I get them back in the box and don't lose too many bees to nature. Okay. Okay, so I need 2 2-2-inchers. Okay, like I said, I made these inserts, so I'll just put them on the outside position. Should fit, yeah. So these are 1.5 inches, and they should fit nice and snug. And let's see if I can fit another one there. I've got a 2-incher that I'll use for that other small colony. And yes, nice and tight. Oops, my tab broke, which is fine because it's not going anywhere. So anyways, there we have a very reduced volume. Okay. Quick in and out. So I guess for northern beekeepers, especially us folks up here, having follow boards, a combo of insulated and just the pine board ones, I think it's important because it gives you, I guess, the option of reducing the volume. And you can see how once I add 2 inches of follow board styrofoam on either side, so it significantly increases insulation on the outside. It'll reduce the volume and how much they need to keep warm, and literally that's what you need to do. I actually feel better now that I've checked these colonies out, shrunk the volume, and it'll be a neat experiment this winter to monitor smaller colonies and just to see how they do with reduced volumes, and see if us beekeepers, we can take that the whole bee to volume to our advantage by adding extra insulation. So what I will do is, I guess, not sure if you can see, but I do add an extra 2 inches of styrofoam on the back, a big sheet, so you can see that piece of plywood there. There's a 2-inch styrofoam. It fits here. These colonies get pushed together. I'll put a bubble foil wrap around them just to create a thermal shell. It helps reflect solar gain. I will show you the impact of that. It's a lot of wavy lines, so basically it's a heat cool cycle. With big diurnals, it's more detrimental than good. I want to keep the bees nice and calm. And then what I'll do is on the ends, I add extra insulation just to fill it in. And then same over here. And I do have another sheet of 2-inch styrofoam that I'll probably fit in the front, so that basically the bees are nice and snug this winter, because they are smaller than normal. So my goal will be to make sure that they're very well insulated. The top, I can pop the cover off of my little shelter so I can access the tops, and in the tops there'll be that feeder slot where I can put pollen patties and fondant in the middle, with 3 extra sheets of 2-inch styrofoam, so another almost 8 inches above, with the lid, and then so the bees should be fine. I will put fondant in each one, because it might actually encourage a bit of a brood rearing later into October, which I guess in my case is what I'm looking for. And I'm gonna start cleaning my sensors so that I can set them. So tomorrow my goal is put some sensors underneath so I can put that to bed, and then the top sensors I can do during the final winter prep. But good. So let's do a final check. I don't think I checked this one, so I'll just check this one really quick. I can't remember what the situation was. Yep, it does need some inserts. So I'm just going to remove one outside position. I'm going to go with a 2-incher. Should be able to squeeze it in. And that should help reduce the thermal stress. I'll just leave the single piece of plywood on the inside. Okay. And a V. Slot it in. Good. Perfect. And now we're done.